Welcome to Save Your Sanity, help for handling hijackals, those difficult, toxic, and often disturbing people in your life. I'm Dr. Rhoberta Shaler, the Relationship Help Doctor, and I'm here for you. You'll get the insight, skills, strategies, and support to stop tolerating verbal and emotional abuse, whether it's happening now or it happened to you in the past, maybe by a parent, partner, ex, relative, or even a coworker. Time to take life back, to recover and to rediscover you, your values, dreams, desires, and realize them in healthy ways in healthy relationships. I'm so glad you're here. Hello, and welcome to this episode of Save Your Sanity. I know you're listening because somewhere in your life there is a difficult person. In fact, that may be a relentlessly difficult person, even a hijackal. And you know, those are the people in life who just will not let you be. They are after you every minute. You are unsafe with them and you feel unsafe. You feel like you're always walking on eggshells. So today I want to talk to you about something that these hijackals, these difficult people often say. They hope it's a put down. They hope that it will stop you from continuing to speak. So when you're expressing your feelings, hijackals are often going to say, "Oh, you're being too sensitive." Now, their other favorite is, "I was just kidding." But no, this one, "You're being too sensitive." So I want to give you some insights today into that and what you can do in the face of that to start regaining and reclaiming your personal power. So this hijackal, this person says something that is mean or belittling or discouraging, and inside you say, "Ouch!" Or maybe you say it out loud, or you say something that lets the person know that you're not happy. And then you're told you're too sensitive. Do you hear that on a recurring basis? Of course it could be true. Only you know that for sure. But don't be too hard on yourself if you're hearing that all the time from somebody who is domineering or wants to have control. What is also true is that hijackals like to put you down and make you small and then blame you for being too sensitive. They think it washes away any responsibility they have for the remarks they made. So now it's your fault. Or at least that's what they want you to think. Now, if this is at all ringing true, know that there are insights and strategies and support for you. Join my optimized circles right away, safely off any social media. They're on my website. Just go to forrelationshiphelp.com/circles. So they want you to think that everything is your fault. And one of the ways that you're at fault is that you're too sensitive. So often clients say to me that they're told by their parents or their partners or their exes, "Oh, you're just being too sensitive." And if that's familiar to you, you want to listen to these things. Because people who want to abuse you, and I use that word abuse freely because that's what it is when people engage in verbal and emotional put-downs. People who want to abuse you, or keep you small, or have power or control over you, they will look for and find and make up reasons to easily put you down. And one of those is by saying, "Oh, you're overly sensitive." What they're really saying to you is, "I can do what I want. I can say to you whatever I want, and I don't have to consider your feelings because I'll just blurt all that out. I'll be very straightforward about it, and when you say, 'ouch,' I will simply say, 'Oh, you're overly sensitive. You have thin skin. Don't you know I was just kidding?'" Does that sound familiar at all? Now, the problem with that is the message was already received by you. Sent and received, and you've taken it in. And if you've been with a hijackal in a relationship for a while, this is pretty common. You're used to it, sadly enough. You're used to it. And so it just adds to the pile and it doesn't really shock you anymore. And there you are, deeply underneath that pile. And every time another thing is said to you like this, that pile gets heavier and heavier. So I want to give you some insight as to what to say when somebody says that, and begin to take that stuff off you. So it's not that big burden. It's not crushing you down. It's not pushing you down. It's important to have these skills because we need to feel empowered. And when you've been with a hijackal for a while, they really have done everything they can to take away your sense of power. They want to tell you how it is and when it will happen and why it is and what's wrong with you and why it's always your fault. They're very good at that. They're consistent at it. That you can count on them. There's a pattern that they have. So be sure that you listen up here about ways to get out from underneath that. Because it's not right. You need to get out from underneath that. And why I say to you to listen up is because I want you to listen differently. I want you to become really super clearly listening and become really aware of what is going on. Listen for it. Listen for the put down. Listen for the smallest little squash that's adding to your smallness. Because you may have become accustomed to it. So it just rolls off your back. You expect it and you don't act any differently. Maybe you roll your eyes and go, oh yeah, there it goes again. But that's not healthy. And this is definitely not a good thing to get used to. So what happens when a hijackal says, oh, you're just being overly sensitive? After they've said their piece and probably been somewhat unkind, well, what they're doing, as I said, is they just want to have power over you. They want control. So they have that in the moment when they squish you, when they diminish you, when they try to make you smaller. And so in that moment, if you want to keep the relationship with the hijackal, or if you're not sure, you know it's not wise to ever directly confront a hijackal, not with facts or with your feelings, because you'll just get squished again. So never directly confront a hijackal, but start change within yourself. Do something different. So the next time that your hijackal says, oh, you're overly sensitive, and there you go, what are you crying for? Just do this. Simply allow yourself to, first of all, practice in your head. You may not get any words out, but allow yourself to say, I have a right to my feelings. That hurt me, or that upset me, and I'm allowed to say that. Now, if you can, say those words out loud. I have a right to my feelings. That hurt me, or that upset me, and I'm allowed to say that. You're not saying anything bad about the hijackal. You're not saying anything that they did, that they're wrong, or anything at all. You're simply speaking from your heart about yourself. That hurt me. That bothered me. Nothing more. Just start there. Don't allow yourself to continuously be put down by being told that you are overly sensitive. Now, the second part of that equation is finding out if you are being overly sensitive, because we always want to be self-aware. So check with somebody. You can even check with me. We can talk. You can make an appointment with me at any time. Just go to forrelationshiphelp.com/join for my introductory 1 hour opportunity. We can check. You can check with me. Maybe you'll check with a friend. Although friends and family are not reliable sources for help. They may be reliable sources for emotional support, not always in the right direction, but they're not reliable sources for real help because they don't know what it's like to live in that situation. So you need outside help, like coming along, be a member, come along to forrelationshiphelp.com/circles, become a member there. You can ask me questions directly. We can talk. Other people will put their experiences forward and help you too. But ask yourself, am I overly sensitive? Or have I become overly sensitive because I've been put down so frequently? So you need to ask that question. So internally, you're saying, no, I'm not overly sensitive. I'm hurting. And if you're strong enough, you say, no, I'm not overly sensitive. I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling put down. And I'm feeling whatever is true for you. That's a good beginning point. You say that out loud to the hijackal when you know that you are not being overly sensitive. Now, they've always told you everything's your fault, so you're going to come from that place right now of having to work back, claw your way back from believing everything is your fault and believing what they say to you about you, because it's not true. It is almost never true. What a hijackal says to put you down is almost never true. So I want you to practice inside. That's the important thing. And the reason I say I want you to is I really want you to understand that you don't have to put up with this behavior. So a good beginning point, as I said, is being able to say out loud, no, I'm not overly sensitive. I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling put down. I'm feeling scared, whatever it is that's true for you. And then after you've been doing that for a while, maybe a week or two, then you amp it up a little bit and you say, I'm not overly sensitive. I feel this. I want my feelings respected. And then you add to the conversation, well, what's going to happen? The hijackal is probably going to say something that is, in effect, talk to the hand. I don't care. I'm right. You're being overly sensitive. But you're not doing this for the hijackal. You're doing this for you. And this is important. This is your empowerment. This is you beginning to develop strong identity and standing up for it. So the hijackal is going to say, why do you think you deserve respect? What have you ever done to deserve respect? Well, we're not working on the hijackal at this point. You're working on yourself. So you just simply say that, I deserve respect. And maybe the hijackal says, why do you think that? Or says, why do you think you deserve respect? And you say this and believe it right down to your toes, because I breathe. Everybody deserves respect. Could you do that? It might be a little tough at the beginning. That's why I suggest you practice in your head until you're ready to say it out loud. You know, it's really unlikely that you are being overly sensitive. What you're giving is information that the hijackal doesn't want to hear. So the hijackal has to swat it aside, and the way that he or she does that is by suggesting that you're the problem. You're overly sensitive, or you have thin skin. You know, nothing ever lands on a hijackal. And sometimes it happens that they do this kind of thing when you're in company. You and your hijackal are out with some other people, or you're at a family gathering, and the hijackal loves to take a pot shot at you. They'll blind you with a remark, a one-liner, and you know they're counting on the fact that you're not going to say anything because you don't want to make a scene. And so you begin right there by quietly saying, ouch, that hurts. Nothing more. No big discussion. But you mark it. You say, ouch, that hurt. That's the beginning of putting the hijackal on notice that you're not putting up with this anymore. So I hope these things have helped you. Don't take on what the hijackal says about you. They are saying it for their own purposes. It has nothing to do with who you are. So you need some techniques, some strategies. And one thing for sure, when you're living with a hijackal or leaving a hijackal, or you were the child of a hijackal, you have to learn to set some strong boundaries. So the things I've suggested to you today are ways of speaking up. These things will help you. And I hope you really believe right down to your toes that you deserve respect. So give it to yourself first and speak up. That's how you begin. You're not speaking against them. You are not getting angry. You are not pointing out their faults or shortcomings. You do not say to them, you always do this, you never do this. No, you're not going to do that. You're going to speak up on your own behalf and say what's true for you. I deserve respect. That hurt my feelings. I don't like to hear that, and I know it's not true. You are affirming yourself. The hijackal won't like it. You know that. But you're not here to please the hijackal, much as that's what they believe is your entire function on the face of the earth. You are not here to please a hijackal. You are here to have the best life possible for you and to be an example for your children. So you do not want somebody else defining your reality for you. That's gaslighting. And when someone tells you you're being overly sensitive, no, it's highly unlikely that you're not. I hope this has helped you today. Remember, we can always talk. I'm happy to help you. Just go to forrelationshiphelp.com. You'll find all kinds of things there for you. If you want to make an appointment with me, your first appointment is only $97 for an hour. Let's talk. forrelationshiphelp.com/join. That's where you can make that appointment. If you want more information, go to my YouTube channel. Guess what? It's called For Relationship Help. So you get the drift. It's easy to find. And we have lots and lots of journey to go on together. I'm so glad you're here because it shows you're investing in yourself and having a better life. We can talk soon. Take good care. I'm so glad you spent this time with me today. I hope you heard something that touched your heart and empowered you to move forward. You can have the life and relationships that you most want, and that begins with you, within you, today. I'm always here for you. Life can get better, and you heard that from me, the Relationship Help Doctor. I'm Rhoberta Shaler, and I work with clients throughout the world through video conferencing. We can talk. So learn more at forrelationshiphelp.com. forrelationshiphelp.com, or visit me on YouTube at For Relationship Help. Join me for next week's show.